In a pulsating battle filled with highlight reel moments, electric plays, and superstar showdowns, the Golden State Warriors and Minnesota Timberwolves delivered a game for the ages, one that tested nerves, strategy, and the sheer will to win. Packed with tension, fierce runs, and a dramatic final sequence, this contest reminded us why we love basketball. The matchup featured jaw-dropping plays from Stephen Curry, timely contributions from Draymond Green, clutch shots from Anthony Edwards, and a back-and-forth finish that kept fans on the edge of their seats. Opening sparks, tactical chess right from tip-off, the Warriors showcased why they are considered one of the smartest offensive teams in the league. Early in the first quarter, they ran a classic pick-the-picker action, with Steph Curry setting a back screen, then receiving one himself to get open. It was vintage Warriors motion offense, constantly shifting defenders and creating mismatches. Draymond Green, ever the cerebral playmaker, found Curry perfectly off that action. Steph caught it cleanly and fired. Money from deep. The early involvement of Kevon Looney and Klay Thompson helped stretch the Timberwolves' defense. They spread the floor, spaced well, and Steph's gravity allowed Gore, a breakout player this season, to work inside. But Minnesota responded with physicality. Anthony Edwards began asserting himself early with hard drives and mid-range pull-ups. Karl Anthony Towns was out, and Rudy Gobert wasn't in yet, so the Wolves' interior defense was vulnerable. Still, they relied on help-side defense and sharp perimeter contests to slow down the Warriors' attack. As the first half progressed, Curry turned it up a notch. He began setting higher screens, especially targeting McDaniels, an excellent defender, but one that Steph managed to manipulate through off-ball movement. In one sequence, Curry received the ball off a stagger screen, paused slightly, then used a ball fake to freeze his defender before launching a step-back three. Swish! The crowd erupted. This wasn't just shot-making, it was surgical precision. Another moment saw Curry weave around two defenders, draw Draymond's man, and deliver a perfect pocket pass that led to a buzzer-beating shot just before the shot clock expired. It was yet another testament to the team's uncanny synergy, years of playing together manifesting in seamless execution. Warriors dominate second-chance opportunities. One of the unsung stories of the night was the Warriors' offensive rebounding. Looney and Draymond Green were monsters on the glass, consistently extending possessions and creating second-chance points. In fact, the Warriors notched 19 second-chance points, often capitalizing on scrambles and tipped-out rebounds. In one key play, Steph missed a floater, but Looney leapt over two defenders, tipped the ball to himself, and finished with a powerful putback. That sort of hustle and control of the paint kept Golden State ahead for stretches, despite some cold shooting from the perimeter. Draymond and GP2 set the defensive tone. Draymond Green once again proved why he remains one of the most intelligent defenders in the game. On multiple occasions, he predicted Edwards' drives, rotated perfectly, and intercepted passes. One memorable sequence saw Green steal a lob intended for Gobert, turn, and lead the break himself, finding Kuminga in stride for an emphatic finish. Gary Payton too added another level of chaos. He was everywhere, getting deflections, turning defense into fast-break offense. On one play, he poked the ball free, outran two Timberwolves down the court, and finished through contact, drawing a foul and converting the three-point play. He wasn't just defending, he was disrupting. By halftime, the Warriors led narrowly, but momentum felt fragile. The Timberwolves were hanging around thanks largely to Edwards' offensive brilliance and timely shooting from role players like Mike Conley and DiVincenzo. Second half, the Timberwolves bite back. The third quarter saw a shift. With Gobert returning to the floor, Minnesota began closing the rebounding gap and locking down the interior. That gave Edwards room to operate on the perimeter. He exploded with back-to-back drives, once powering through Draymond and then finishing. a ferocious dunk over Looney that sent shockwaves through the arena. Conley, the veteran floor general, picked his moments wisely. He hit a few floaters and found DiVincenzo in rhythm for corner threes. Suddenly, the Wolves were back in the lead, executing with confidence and matching Golden State's pace. But Golden State, as always, found answers. Late third to early fourth. Curry turns the heat up. Steph came alive again. He scored 12 points in a flurry that included a leaning three, a spin fade, and a high-arcing floater off glass. He orchestrated beautifully with Draymond, whose screens allowed him just enough daylight to launch. Draymond even knocked down a rare corner three off a no-look pass from Curry. Their chemistry was on full display. Whether it was the give-and-go action, split cuts, or deep pick-and-rolls, the Warriors' offense was flowing beautifully. Curry's stat line at that point: 21 points, 5 assists, and a handful of plays that didn't show up on the stat sheet, but changed the momentum. With under 6 minutes to go, the score was tight. The Timberwolves had gone a perfect 4 for 4 from beyond the arc early in the fourth. Edwards hit a step-back three. DiVincenzo buried another. The Wolves were on fire, but Podziemski answered for the Warriors, knocking down back-to-back threes, including a contested one with the shot clock winding down. Kuminga made a strong return, scoring off a Draymond dime, but on the other end, Randall, Minnesota's rising forward, went to work inside. His post-ups were tough to guard, and he drew crucial fouls down the stretch. The final minute. High-stakes chow. With just under a minute to go, Curry hit a huge three off a quick dribble pull-up to tie the game. The Warriors' bench erupted, but Minnesota didn't flinch. On the next possession, Randall muscled his way into the paint, spun, and banked in a go-ahead bucket. 18 seconds left. Steve Kerr immediately called a timeout. The plan was simple. Get the ball to Curry. He passed to Butler, who tried to return. But a miscommunication led to an errant pass out of bounds, a costly turnover. Now forced to foul, the Warriors put Conley on the line. He calmly sank both free throws, giving Minnesota a 3-point lead with 9 seconds left. But Curry wasn't done yet. Out of the timeout, he curled around a double screen and launched a deep three bottoms. Tie game again with just 4.7 seconds remaining. Chris Finch burned his final timeout. Out of the huddle, the Timberwolves put the ball in Edwards' hands. He drove hard, drew contact, and earned a trip to the line. The crowd held its breath. Swish. Swish. He nailed both. The final play. With 1.8 seconds left and no timeouts, the Warriors had to go full court. Draymond heaved the inbounds. Curry caught it near the timeline, took one dribble, and fired. Ball arced high, drifting slightly left. Off the rim, and that was it. The Timberwolves had escaped with a thrilling 118-116 win. Post-game thought Stephen Curry, 35 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. Incredibly clutch, orchestrated the offense, and made several momentum-changing plays. Anthony Edwards, 31 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. His strength and finishing at the rim were unguardable at times. Draymond Green, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals. Leadership, defense, and floor control. Gary Payton II. Key steals and energy plays sparked runs that kept Golden State in it. Randall and DiVincenzo, MEN. Huge role player performances down the stretch. This was one of those games that felt like a playoff preview. High-level basketball, strategic adjustments, and stars shining under pressure. Golden State may have fallen short, but they showed once again why they're never out of a game with Curry on the floor.